What's up, guys? Cruise Week in Ocean City, Maryland is just a couple days away. I've gone every year for the past 8 years. Unfortunately, only like 2 out of those 8 I've been able to take the Supra. Last year and the year before. Horrible tragedies. But this year, I'm planning on taking this thing. And we're going to start off with some preparation for it. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean this thing up. And I'd like to get a little buff on it. I'm going to be using the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. I know it's not the best. I'm not a detailing guy, but all I want to do is get rid of some of that red oxidation, make it a little shiny for the weekend to make it look not as horrible. Yeah. I know some of you guys are Adams foam gun fans. A lot of people use the foam guns. This is a super poor man mod version of that. It's clearly not as good, but for 1/10 of the price, it's pretty awesome. You can get this at Harbor Freight. You put soap in here, and you can spray it, and it mixes with water. And I like to do the misting effect with it, and it sprays soap all over the car. And you can either do this to like pre-soak, or you can just spray the soap on there and then use your mitt and wipe it all off. I really like this. It was like $10. I mean, clearly the foam gun from Adams is better, but $100 versus 10. I like my 10. And I'm not going to be super thorough with this. This is the Supra after all. It's no show car. So don't get butthurt if I'm doing it the wrong way. And then when you don't want the foam, flip the switch. And clean water comes out. Alright, it's looking pretty good. She's all washed up. Now I'm going to tape off a lot of the black plastic with painter's tape so I don't get the polish all over it and it looks like crap. So taping it off is easier than going back and cleaning it all off with a brush and stuff, so tape time. Alright, got everything taped off that I want to be taped off. Got the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. I used this on the Supra a long time ago. I did a video on like how to restore your paint or something like that. Works pretty good. It's cheap. It's not the best, but it gets the job done. And it will make the Supra going from flat and ugly to glossy and less ugly. So, got my Harbor Freight buffer here. Oh yeah. Put a little bit on the pad. When I say a little bit, I mean a lot. Alright, let's see how she did. We want a nice clean microfiber to wipe this off. God, I love this stuff. It doesn't last that long, it only lasts a couple months because then it reoxidizes, but for short term, it works really good. Look at this difference right here. This is where I've buffed already. Nothing up here, nothing up here. This looks so much better. I wish it could look like this all the time. Alright, this side of the car is done. It's looking really good. I got a little overspray here, need to wipe that off, but now I'm going to do the other side and we'll move on to the next project. Took out a lot of paint. So the next thing I want to do to this car, which isn't really important for Cruise Week, it's just something I want to do, and that's a trunk light. Now, some of you might know I make plug-and-play trunk light kits for the Supra, but since it's mine, it's not plug-and-play, because when I stripped the interior back here, I removed the factory trunk light and cut the harness. And Ron from Yoda Connectors told me that the wire is somewhere in this bundle. There's I don't know, at least 20 wires right here. So I need to see if I can find the power wire for it. And if I can, then I can hook my trunk light up to it. It's gonna be a challenge, or at least pretty damn time consuming. Because, you know, like, I wanted, I don't know, yeah. So I found a wire with the power probe that's giving power, as you can hear. And if I close the trunk, I think we may have found the wire. Well, if we close the trunk and the noise goes away, then we found it. Nope. All right, I found another one. I checked all these wires and couldn't find another one with power, but I found another one down here. Let's see if we find it. Nope. So I'm unable to find a power wire back here that is triggered by the trunk, but I did happen to find a ground. There's a switch on the trunk latch right here. Goes to this connector, and that's telling me that there's a ground. Now when the trunk closes, it opens and kills the ground. Just like that. Trunk open, close. So this will be a ground switched trunk light instead of a power switched. But if you have a normal Supra, unlike me, it will just be plug and play, but this isn't normal. Nothing's ever normal. Nothing.
Well, Bradley is unfortunate to get a family who pushes like crazy.
So what happened was...
Alright, now we just have to hook the ground to here and hook up our power wire. Alright, so we hooked it up to this ground switch here, got it hooked up to power, and now when the trunk opens, BAM! LED light, motherfucker. Now usually this would be plug and play, but it's the Supra, so it's not.
Gasoline isn't plug and play in your car.
Yeah, you literally have to diagnose your car when you install gasoline. It's so dumb. But yeah, this is looking pretty awesome. Oh yeah, it's a party in here now. Turn this down, make it go slower. Choose red or green or blue. My favorite's fade though. I like fade, just smoothly transitions the colors. Pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. Pretty freaking awesome, man. Phoenix, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Like, that blue?
What's the other blue?
That?
That's the blue.
I like this.
That one.
That's what I make my fish tank.
I like that one.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the ocean.
I like the royal blue.
That's
Well, no one cares
white.
about your fucking opinion, Tony.
I think you say a very hurtful and make me feel bad about myself.
Okay, so got the car on the lift. I'm just gonna try to do a once over on it, check like the real important things, make sure everything's tight. I think I might have an exhaust leak. I'm gonna look at that. And to no surprise, because the welded diff, this axle's going bad. It's all throwing grease and stuff. I think it might be okay to make it to Ocean City and back. We're gonna hope so. But I'm definitely gonna replace it when I get back. It's been slinging some grease. Let me show you. Oh yeah, tons of grease running down here. Super hard to see, but there's grease pretty much thrown 360 degrees all the way around this. It's pretty nasty. It only, you know, I think I hear it kind of click a little bit, but it's not so bad to where I don't think the car is drivable. So I'm gonna try to make this trip with this axle. Hopefully it makes it. And yeah, I guess I'll do a how to replace an axle video when I get back. And Ron from Yoda Connectors told me that these would not go bad. He said they're built like tanks, and apparently not. Check the drive shaft. I checked all the axle bolts and they seem to be fine. But because this welded diff, I just want to make sure that everything's nice and tight, because there is a lot of force that goes through the drive line of this. And you know, I'm not surprised that the axle's bad. welded diffs are not friendly to any component on your car. So I just want to make sure that everything is hunky-dory. Well, that's a good thing I'm checking these, because that differential bolt's loose. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few things that are loose on here. Alright, she's good and tight. My jank-ass exhaust seems to be a little bit loose. And to no surprise, there's a good exhaust leak going on here because of my jank-ass exhaust. Got one more thing I need to do to the car. 8 days later. Now, because the place I'm going to, Ocean City, Maryland, they're so strict this year. They're strict every year, but this year's the worst. I'm going to be covering my light bar with duct tape. I don't have a cover for it. And I guarantee they would ticket me for this. So I'm trying to avoid a ticket. And I don't feel like taking it off. So I'm just gonna duct tape the shit out of it. Or I should say, Gorilla Tape. Oh no, that's the end of it. Hopefully it doesn't fly off. But now it's covered, and I shouldn't get a ticket for it. Alright guys, I got my spare oil. I got 4 quarts of this stuff because one year on the way from Ocean City, my oil feed line for the turbo ruptured and I needed like 10 quarts of oil to get home. Got my fire extinguisher because, you know, this thing is a death trap and anything can happen. And I got a gallon of water just in case, you know, the radiator hose decides to pop off. So I am prepared. I even renewed my AAA membership. So I think it's safe to say that I'm ready to go on the voyage to Ocean City. And wish me luck, and I hope to see you guys down there. Peace.